Here are the conditions that the lap was set in. First, we watch the lap, and then we analyze. Welcome to Mid-Ohio, where the racing line is paramount. Stick around and find out how to identify the right racing line. Couple notes before we get into the track guide. Mid-Ohio requires you to be on the right racing line. If you're not on the right racing line, then you're going to go off into the grass. You're going to be in the barriers. It's a roller coaster. You have to be on the racing line. It is that important. And it is a great place to learn how to find the right racing line. Because if you're not on it, then you're probably going to be in the grass or in the barrier. All right. Having said that, let's get started. We're looking for the 200 board coming into T1. We're going to be braking after the 200 board. And this is a very difficult corner because, as you can see, the apex is blind. There's a yellow curb somewhere around here. And what you're doing is you're turning in and braking after the 200 and just searching. Your eyes are looking over here on the left-hand side and just searching for this curb so that once you spot it, you get the car as close as possible to it, throttle early, and we're running as wide as possible using all the grass. As you can see, there's a little dip here. And this dip compresses the car and gives you additional grip on exit. So you'll feel the car steering get a little bit heavier and you'll be able to carry more speed. If you're not feeling that, probably not taking the right racing line and you're not carrying enough speed through the corner. As we go to T2, another difficult corner. There's a crest here. It's blind. We're looking out for the 3-cone and the 2-cone. And we're braking in between both of them. Somewhere around there. Find what works best for you. And as we turn in, we're going to treat this as a late apex. Normally, we would want to do somewhat of a double apex here. But because of this crest, I find that being on the very inside is not good. So I try to aim for this dark pavement over here. And as we crest, we're still on the brake. We're rotating the car, eyes pointing to the right. We're looking for the apex. We're eyes on the apex so that we know when to throttle, when we can get on throttle. That's the biggest thing. And ideally, what we want is as we exit here, we want full throttle so that it can carry us to the very edge of track on exit and maximize the exit. That's what we want because there's a very long straight, as you can see. Very long straight. All right, as we approach I guess this is T4. We're looking for the 4-cone. And I say here, be careful. Err on the side of caution. Brake before the 4-cone. Because if you go wide, there's no coming back. It's pretty much race over, in my opinion, if you go wide here. So brake early. Eyes need to be to the apex. It's not visible here. Makes it difficult for people on single screen. But if you have triple screens, keep your eyes on that apex because that's going to let you know when you can get on throttle here and how to position the car properly. As you can see, we graze that apex curb. We're on throttle and it's going to take us all the way out to the left. we are maximizing this corner. Even though there's a very sharp left-hander, there's no need to bring the car back to this right side. It's not necessary because of the shape of this corner, because of the undulations, because of the camber of the road. So what we're going to do is just keep it really tight. And as you can see how early I am on the brakes, this is all about looking where you're going to go, because that tells your body what to do. And so we just keep it really, really tight. And as it crests, you're going to feel the steering wheel kind of get a little light. And then it's going to get heavy again when you feel the grip. When it gets heavy, that's when the grip has started. And that's when you want to get on throttle. That's when you want the throttle to come on. You do not want to be to the right-hand side. You want to be as tight as possible through here. The car, as you can see, traction control. You're going to be hitting a lot of traction control here. So it's really important to straighten out that steering wheel as fast as possible. Otherwise, you're just going to be fishtailing out of every single corner. Another undulation here, another compression. We want to get the car back to the left-hand side. Turn in is going to be at that compression. That's what we're looking for. But the eyes need to be here already so that we can turn in. We're going to be grazing this apex curb. And we're not going to go all the way to the left. We're not going to maximize exit because we have this sharp left-hander that leads to some undulations and makes the car unstable. So we kind of want to be middle of the road. Middle of the road. Prioritizing having full throttle as long as possible without the rear stepping out on you. And as you can see, we can run all through this curb. And we can run a little bit of the grass there as well. And look at that. As soon as we start hitting these undulations, traction control starts to hit. And once the traction control hits, you have to straighten out the steering wheel. And you can see I'm not on 100% throttle through this section because we're about to crest right now. The car is going to unload completely. As you crest, what happens is the weight picks up the car, unloads the grip of the tires. And so the steering wheel will go light and you won't be able to steer here. And there is a right-hander coming up. So we do not want to be out of control here. We want to be able to stay to the left of center with the steering wheel slightly straight, pointed, so that we can go straight through this right-hander on this curb with full throttle. That's how you're going to gain your lap time here. If you're not doing that racing line, you're losing massive amounts of time. Massive. I find that the brake happens here before the end of this dark pavement. And ideally, we brake softly all the way to the left-hand side here on the curb. You can see we use all the curb here. And just kind of feeling it out, turn in. And as we start to crest, we get on the throttle. And we cannot get on throttle 100% because, again, it's cresting. The car is going to unload. But we need to carry as much speed as possible. You're going to see the traction control kick in. As we crest, the traction control starts to kick in. It's going to kick in always. You just have to manage it. Don't be scared. You have to manage it and allow the car to use all of the track here. You saw that quick correction on the steering wheel there. That's going to happen pretty much every time through this corner. So that's normal. And as we come through the last sector, we're going to be braking before the 200, as close to the barrier as possible. You can see some more undulations. Brake early and head for the inside curb early. And don't get on throttle until you can see this, the exit there. Very important. You want to run out all the way to the edge of the curb and start braking before the curb ends. Otherwise, you're going to be in the wall here because you want to keep it tight as possible through here. It's pretty much, this is similar to T2 where, you kind of want to do a double apex corner here. You just got to find the right line. The line that allows you to get on throttle confidently, cut through here, and just get to the finish line with full throttle. And here, there's another undulation, another crest where, as you can see, traction control hits. If you have a lot of steering angle here, you can see it's about 15 degrees, maybe a little less. If you have more than that, what's going to happen is the rear is going to just step out to the right. You're going to lose massive amounts of time. And again, it's about keeping it tight. The tighter you are through here, the better the car will be in control, the more compliant the car will be. And you need a really nice exit out of the last corner to set yourself up for a good lap. So as you can see how important the racing line is here at Mid Ohio. And if that is one of the things that you struggle with in terms of driving technique, I suggest you hit this track, learn it, find that racing line, because there's big consequences to not being on that racing line. And when there are big consequences, you're going to change bad habits. So have a good time at Mid Ohio.